Check, check. All right, so I'm going to tell you a powerful story of a video I made that went on to get, I don't know, I think it got 1 million views collectively, and how I did it. So you can do the same thing between Facebook and YouTube. So I did it with my phone, by the way. I'm making coffee right now, and I'm talking, so my camera's tracking me, but listen to what I'm saying, okay? Multitasking. Okay. I'm out on a job site and I have a landscaping business, and in my niche I make videos about landscaping. You can make videos about whatever your niche is, right? But you got to commit to your niche and then figure out what your message is. So I was listening, I bought a program by a guy named Brendan Burchard. He's a huge guru and he teaches how to build your message online. So he's awesome, check him out. And so he told me about the hero's journey and how if you want to create a hit, a video to increase the chances of this thing blowing up and going viral, it's a challenge to tell your story. But you have to tell it in a specific way, in a specific sequence, and I'm going to share that with you right now. Okay, so I want you to go on audible.com and download some of these books and research The Hero's Journey by Michael Hagg, or it's The Hero's Two Journeys. So basically he's like a Hollywood script writer, and he says like if you tell a story, and in these movies too, in a specific way, and these certain triggers, emotional triggers are hit, it increases the chances of the movie or the story or the book or the video, you know, becoming a hit, a bestseller. And so I did, I'm walking around, I'm working on a job site, and I did what he told me to do precisely. I finished his instructions immediately. I turned off the backpack blower. I took out my phone and I did exactly what he told me to do. And the video went on to get 1 million views, and I was blown away. It didn't get 1 million views right away. It got like 98,000, then 180,000, then it went on to get like 380,000. Then I shared it on Facebook. It kept going and going. So collectively, it's got 1 million views. It took time. But would you like to do the same thing? Okay, well, I'll tell you. I challenge you. You can do this with your phone. Like I'm in my kitchen right now, and the reason you're still listening to me is because I'm keeping your attention, because I'm talking about something you're interested in and that benefits you. It doesn't matter that I'm in my kitchen making coffee, because I'm convicted, okay? So you got to tell your story, but you got to do it in a certain way. And I'll tell you the hero's two journeys real quick. Hero wakes up in the middle, in the day, the camera zooms in and it shows him, let's say it's The Rock. He's a good guy. He wakes up, hugs his wife, he's making breakfast, his kids run up, "Daddy, Daddy," he's throwing the ball with the son. He goes out, he checks the mail, waves to his neighbor, and then comes back in, he's joking around, playing with his dog, and you're like, I like this guy. This guy's a good guy. You buy in to the character, okay? And then all of a sudden the call comes. The call. Like he's like, say he's like a retired secret agent or something. Or there's like a War of the Worlds, like something happens bad, and now he's called up to rise up and go save the day. But he doesn't do this anymore. He's retired, right? He's left that life, and now he's a family man. He can't go back to that. But unfortunately, he's the only one that can save the world. So that's why it's called The Hero's Two Journeys. So he's got to reach down inside of him and get the courage to stand up and like say, all right, I'm going to go on this journey and I'm going to save the world. And here's what happens. His wife could be like, "No, you bastard," and hitting him on the chest. "You said that you were retired, that you weren't going back to this life." And he's like, I actually spoke this story on stage a few months ago in Atlanta. I was the keynote speaker at an event. It was pretty awesome. And when I told the story, people were paying attention, so it was funny. But anyways, he's like, I must go. So it's the deep inner masculine hero, like he loves his woman, but he still has to go on the mission to save the world. So he gets convicted, and he decides, and he hops on his motorcycle and he drives off into the sunset, and he decides to change the world, right? Or to go save the world. Well, what happens is, as soon as he crosses the Rubicon, which is the point of no return. Like, he can't go back now. He's made the decision to go forward. All of a sudden, the bottom falls out and the stakes get 100 times higher than you thought they were. Like, you thought that this was going to be a mission that was possible, and now it becomes a mission that's impossible because all of a sudden shit gets 100 times worse, and he can't go back, and he loses his resources. And it's like terrifying because now he's in the pit. This is the pit. So at this point, the entire audience is, I'm making coffee. My wife is coming home for dinner, so she's bringing me Thai food. I love my wife. That's that noise. So now he's in the pit. The whole audience is hooked now, like the beginning of the movie cliffhanger. But why? Because you bought into the character's story, and you like him. He's a nice guy, right? But now all of a sudden he's at what we call the point of no return. He's in the pit. Now, this is why it's called the hero's two journeys. Because in all, look up Michael Hagg, go buy all his stuff, and Joseph Campbell's Hero's Two Journeys. That's where this kind of comes from. So he has to reach deep down inside of his soul and have a conversation with himself and go look in the mirror, because he's not even strong enough himself to conquer this enemy or to defeat this thing. The only way that he's going to be able to do it and save the world is if he transforms who he is on the inside in order to get results or save the world on the outside. That's why it's called the hero's two journeys. He has an inner journey and an outer journey, right? And so at the point of no return, and he's in the pit, and he can't, it feels so hopeless. You're like, oh my God, this is impossible. How's he going to, there's no way out. And then he rises from the ashes like a phoenix, and he looks in the mirror. And then the music starts playing like Rocky, and that's when he goes and he pulls out the war paint and he puts it on his face. Like this, right? And then he starts training, right? And you feel it, and you're like, whoa. It triggers, I can feel it right now. It triggers something inside of you. It's like a battle cry to a drum. Like, this guy is going into death. It's like Mel Gibson movies. You feel that? So that's when he rises out of the ashes, and he now he goes and he faces the enemy. He doesn't care about his own life anymore. The small I. The ego I, now he's doing this for a greater purpose. He's on a mission to save the world. And he's willing to risk his life to do it. Like, that's a higher calling. And what happens? He goes through all the battles, and it's really hard, and there's all these other things that happen. But basically at the end, he defeats the final boss. At the last moment, he saves the world. And what happens? He saves the whole world. Everybody's cheering and clapping. And here comes the motorcycle riding home, and the sun is coming up, and he walks in the door, and there's his woman, and she runs up and she hugs and kisses him, and that coffee's going nuts. We drink some strong coffee around here. So he comes home, and basically hugs his woman, and she kisses him. My hero, I knew you would come home. And then there he is, throwing the ball, playing with his dog, checking the mail, the neighbors are waving, and the world is a peaceful place. And he's a hero, but he's also, that's my dog, Miko. Now he's back to being an average Joe. If you hear that noise, my dog, Miko, he's an old dog. You could dump out an entire bag, and we spoil the heck, of beef jerky all over the floor, and treats, and chewy bones, and chewy snacks. He, like, literally, I cook chicken breast for him, and I chop it up in little pieces, and then I sprinkle like glucosamine and chondroitin, hip chews, and dog vitamins, and crunch up dog iron and give it to him. We give him salmon. We give these dogs steak, and it's never enough. He has a fixation. What do you want, a treaty bone? Is that what you want? Ooh, he wants a treaty. Do you want that soft and chewy treaty, Mickey? Mmm. And he likes to eat cat food too. So I'm gonna feed my dog. Heroes to journeys. Here's my challenge for you. I want you to make a video telling your story. I don't want to look down, you to be looking down. There you go. I want you to make a video and tell your story from struggle and your trials and tribulations and your eventual success from a place of relatability, and talk about what you had to go through and what you had to reach down deep inside of yourself with courage and pull that shit out of you to now finally win and be the champion. But you're just an average Joe, right? Tell that story on social media and tag and title it and put the right descriptions and get a good thumbnail and put it out there and see what happens. Come back and leave a comment and say you did it. You can even put a link to the video below. You got this.